들리시나요?
아니요.
아, 네.
Mr. Speaker, we strongly believe that we should ban animal testing. As the Prime Minister, I would like to talk about our team's first and second argument about animals have rights and it hinders scientific development. But before I go into our team's arguments, I would like to talk about background and the definition. The background is, in the status quo nowadays, scientists use animals such as mice or rabbits to make the medicine to discover new facts. The scientists believe that the cells of the animals and humans are similar to each other, so they use animal cells for scientific discoveries. But by animal testing, strange disease can occur and many people die. Animal testing cannot solve the current problem. The definition is that animal testing is using animals for scientific discoveries for the humans. Now we'll go on to our team's arguments. Our team's first argument is about animals have rights. Like the humans, every humans have the rights, such as freedom or education. Animals also have the rights. In the side of the animal testing, it is just same as the slaves in the past in America or England. The slaves were treated to work for their own owners, just like the animals used in the animal testing, used for scientific discoveries forcibly, not they have volunteered or wanted to be used. The slaves in the past and the animals used in the animal testing both does not get to have the rights, which is very unfair for them, considering about their rights to enjoy or do whatever they want to do. Rights are not achieved when something is forced to do something that they do not want to do. We can create the rights for the animals used in the animal testing if it is necessary. We can provide rights for the animals so that they are not forcibly used in the animal testing. Providing rights for the animals is good action, resulting in humanity. Animals are very vulnerable and weak. They cannot do what the humans can do, such as walking or talking, communicating with each other, and more. The rights should be given to the ones who are weak to protect themselves from the dangers that can occur. Since the animals are very weak, and in many ways, we should create a right for them. To sum up my arguments, the slaves in the past and the animals used in animal testing has the similarity that both does not have the rights, and we should create rights if it is necessary. And it is a good action which results in humanity. And our animals are vulnerable and weak, so we should create a right for them. Our team's second argument is about the animal testing hinders scientific development. The animals and humans do not have the same genes. They can have some same genes. However, it doesn't match exactly with the human. Between the animal genes and human genes, the differences exist. So we believe that the scientific results which happens to the animal can be different in what happens in humans. For example, there can be a shot which can exactly have good effect to the pigs. However, when we shot the medicine to the human, there can be the bad effect because animals and humans are different. So this is not safe to cure the humans. We think that animal testing cannot develop the science because it is actually not effective. Since the differences exist between humans and animals, many harmful things can happen, such as strange disease that cannot be cured. The differences cannot be the same, so it is problematic about solving scientific problems by doing animal testing. Mr. Speaker, we strongly believe that we should ban animal testing because it is unfair for the animals because they have rights and it hinders scientific development. I am proud to propose the motion.
4 minutes and 12 seconds. Now I will come to the
Mr. Mr. Speaker, without further ado, I would like to move on to the rebuttals. The first point that the government gave was about animal rights. They said about how animals are weak and it is not humanitarian to use scientific experience on them because they don't have the capacity to walk or do things such as humans. But we believe, and they said additionally, that is why we should give rights because they cannot defend themselves from the other harm. And we believe that, according to the government body, we should have to ban zoos, ban eating animals, and etc. We would have to ban all of these things that infringe animals' rights. But we do it because it is a hierarchy that animals are far more inferior to humans, and we believe that animals are used for development and beneficial effects for the humans. That is why we believe that animal rights can be overweight, and I will explain further in another analysis in my own argument. To the second argument about how it hinders scientific development, how it might be ineffective because the genes and hormones and etc. can be different from the animals and humans. Because this directly contradicts with my argument, without further ado, I will move on to my argument. My own cool substantive point is related to, do animals have rights? We believe that preconditions on being granted a right is when they have the ability to reason, which is related to rationality, ability to enter the social contact, hence the ability to understand and carry out moral duties and responsibilities and be promised in right in exchange. We believe that these are something called rights, and we believe that since the animal don't have such ability to carry out such precondition, we have no moral duty towards considering animal rights as an inalienable rights equal to the value of humans. Yes, the government might say that, no, animals have rights and they should be respected. Yeah, we're not saying that animals have 0% rights. We're saying that they have less rights than people. That is why, since the hierarchy, using the hierarchy method, we believe that it can be infringed in better use for the development of humans and people. That is why we believe that animals' rights can be overrated in such situations like this. Now, without further ado, I would like to move on to my second argument, which is related to need of these animal testing. We believe that the need of animal testing is for the development of mankind. Yes, the government said that it might be ineffective because of a lot of cases their genes don't match, and we believe that, yes, we agree to the fact that it doesn't match and it might lead to problems. But we believe that science is an area of field where people make mistakes, such as the thalidomide incidents. But by fixing those problems, we believe that is when the development occurs, by fixing these problems. We believe that the problem is one of the steps in development, and that is why we believe that it's not effective. It is just it is for the beneficial of the development of mankind. That is why we believe that animal testing is needed for mankind's development, and that is why we believe that we won this debate. What I presented in today's debate is the two rebuttals for the opposition team and about the points about do animals have rights and how animals' rights can be overdone and how it is a need for there's a need for animal testing because of the development of mankind and etc. That is why we are proud to propose on the motion this House will ban animal testing. Thank you.
Speakers spoke for 2 minutes and
we strongly agree about the motion this House to ban animal testing. In this debate, our government side has 3 arguments, and I'll elaborate the last argument, alternatives. And if we're going to argue out of former previous speaker, Prime Minister, and he talked about do animal has rights. It is a very, very wrong argument. Every things that are alive have rights, and they said they don't say that the animals have 0% of rights they have less than person, but we think that animals have 100% of rights, and animals have rights to, and when we do animal testing, it is harming the animals and our rights, and we think that animals and people have, we know that humans have more than animals, but animals and for animal testing, animals and humans have same rights that animals. When we do animal testing, it is harming the animals' rights. And he talked about the needs of animal testing, and it doesn't match with human cells. And I'll rebut his second argument in my argument. And we think that we should ban everything that infringes animals' rights to we ban animal testing. And yes, we agree about this, but we have other things such as zoos, but the animal testing is different from the things. Animal testing is killing, punishing the animals, weak animals. And I go on to my last argument, alternatives. There are other choices that we can rather than to use animals. I'll explain this argument by two analyses. Firstly, we can use the real human cells. We can use real human cells by shut their no thank you, their organ. It is more useful than use animal testing. The opposition can say that there is not much person that can give their organs, and human has a rights. We know that there is not much person who will give their organs, but even there are small groups of people who agree about testing, but it is more useful than giving animals more important information. So it's another choices that can use rather than animal testing. And it does not harm persons, and it does not human rights. We are not forcing people to test their tests. They are just volunteers, so it does not harm human rights. And secondly, we can use computer programs that can show a type of human and type of characteristics that are similar to human. It will help to know more about and provide good study and gives important information that testing animals. Opposition can say that the computer program is not same as real, and we also think that animal testing is not same as human. And animals and humans are very different. It has a very few percent of similarities with people. So we strongly think that this house should ban animal testing, and there are many alternatives that can use rather than animal testing. And animal testing does not solve the current problem when we do animal testing. And we strongly think that this motion should pass, and we think that we should ban animal testing. And we're happy to propose in this debate.
For 4 minutes and 12 seconds. I'd like to invite the next speaker, Zero, if you leave your position.
Mr. Speaker, the nature is about who has the most honor and the authority and who is the most strongest. And the government team is just appealing to the notion that we should protect them just because they feel pain. They are very vulnerable. Ladies and gentlemen, think rationally in the debate. Now, let me look at the argument that the past speaker given. It was about alternatives, and they explained about we can use real human cells who volunteers to do this experiment. However, we are lack of technology, and we are still developing case. If it was developed in current status quo, we would not be using the animal testing. And second, which was about using the computer programs to think the result. However, a right and animals are vulnerable. However, for the scientific development, this right can sometimes be infringed. Also, their right is not very significant than the humans than humans. And on to their second argument, which is about ineffectiveness and which is about hinders the scientific development. There's some mistakes. We believe that there are some mistakes need for our society's big development. How can you develop without no mistake during the experiment? And testing whether it is useful for the human or it will occur side effects for the human is very important in this case. Now I would want to look at our fantastic case. Our first argument was about animals' right is not severe as humans, and then we went at this point that animals have 100% right and it occurs lots of harms. However, I already rebut this point, which is about appealing to emotion, and also why do you allow to eat the animal, and why do you allow plants that cannot only talk and make you plants who can also don't talk as the animals. Now on to my first last point, which is the hierarchy of naturals. Using animals for human development is a natural act, ladies and gentlemen. We need to evaluate what is fair in terms of what is acceptable for this animal's life of nature. If we witness wildlife animal hunting each other for the survival needs or important necessities of another animal group, do we label that as unnatural exploitation? No. From the perspective of this science industry, profit maximization could easily be an important priority, and they should be able to maximize their methods as long as it's not illegal. This is our last point, which is about hierarchy of natural, and therefore we believe that we won this debate.
Thank the speaker. Speaker score 6 minutes and 49 seconds. Government with.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We strongly believe that we should ban the animal testing. We believe that it does not solve the current problem in the status quo. I will go on my questions right away. In this debate, I have found three important issues. Our first issue is the rights of the animals. In this clash, the opposition team was keep arguing that the humans are better than the animals, so the humans have more rights than the animals. And they said that we can use the animals because the humans have better rights. However, we think what they said is totally wrong. We believe that every creature living in the earth should have the same rights. We agree that the humans are the high-grade animal and smarter than any other animals. However, the rights do not have the direct proportion to the grade of the animals. The opposition team is totally wrong. As they said these things, we believe that they only think that humans are the king of the nature and can use the animals whatever they want. Even though the animals cannot talk like the humans and are not smart as the humans, as they are living on Earth with the humans, they have the same amount. They should have the same amount of rights of the two humans, and their rights should not be violated. Our second issue I found in this debate was the necessity of the animal testing. In this clash, the opposition team was keep saying that even though the animals have the different genes than the humans, the scientists can learn by fixing the problem that happened by the animal testing. However, we think this is actually totally wrong and stupid argument. As the animals have the different genes forever as the humans, we think that it is not the true thing that the scientists can fix about what happens in the animal testing. Even though the they did in the animal testing, they cannot solve this because the animals testing is animals will forever have forever different genes than the humans.
That's ridiculous, man.
Yes.
But however, when you ban animal testing, what are the alternative methods that you're going to use? We admitted that the methods that the past speaker has given is not fully developed in this case.
Yes, we will do the computer program or using the human cells.
Come on now.
Sorry, but you rebutted to us that it is not fully developed, but actually then the animal testing is also not fully developed because the result is not always accurate, and we think that the computer program and using the real human genes are more accurate than using the animals which are different than the humans. We believe that the alternatives that my past speaker said is right, much better than the animal testing because the animal testing is not accurate, and we think that the computer program we use and using the real human cells and genes is much accurate because these are real human things and that are not about that related to the humans. Our third issue is the harms and benefits. In this clash, our government team said that there are lots of harms. Firstly, we said it violates the animals' rights. Secondly, we said that it hinders the scientific development and it makes the strange disease to the human which cannot be cured. However, the opposition team was saying that we can develop better by doing the animal testing, and animals do not have much rights as the humans. However, as I said in my second class, we think it is wrong because the scientists cannot fix the problem which happens in the animal testing because the animals are always the same and it cannot be same as the humans. As the government team, we strongly believe that our team should take all of these clashes, and it was a clear debate that our team should take this debate. I'm very happy to propose.
Speakers spoke for 4 minutes and 16 seconds. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, if the government argues that animal testing is still detrimental, why don't they ban zoos? Why don't they ban testing these plants? Why not start for eating meat and vegetables? In nature, the predators eat much more weaker animals. When this is nature, why cannot allow this for humans to do, which is animal testing? We believe there are no proper response from the government. I have 3 questions about this debate. First, whose rights is bigger between the humans and the animals? Second, what will happen to the further scientific development? Finally, my last question is that is fair or should we use human cells? Now let me go on to my questions. My first question is related to whose rights is bigger between the human and the animals' rights? Well, the government team argues about animals have rights. They said that animals also have rights, and they also said that the testing these animals is same as such slaves in the Middle Age is very unfair to animals. We, the opposition team, argued about do animals have rights, and we also said that rights are granted when they're rational enough and they're enough to enter a social contract. And we also said that hence they lack the ability to do these things, and that's the reason why they have less rights than animals. Why animals have less rights than humans. We believe we have a this clash because humans possess the right to protect themselves from new diseases by using these animals because even in the hierarchy of rights, we can inform that these animals can be used in such purposes when humans really need these animals in order for them to survive. And we also had the question about why don't we ban zoos. The second question is related to further scientific development. Well, the government team argues about it hinders scientific development and said that animals and humans between them, the genes are very different, so it may carry inaccurate results of these animal testing. The opposition team argues about humans needed and also is for medical development, and by animal testing we can know the effectiveness of these new medicine, and these effects are tested very accurately by the animals. We also concluded that it is needed for the medical improvement of humans. We believe yes, yes, ma'am.
As the humans are better than animals and get more rights, so how about older adults should have more rights?
We believe if the older, we believe rights does not matter if they're older or younger, but about if they are much more rational and other things such as entering social contract. We believe we have also in discussion because these problems are one of the methods for development, and we also believe that for development, science is needed a little sacrifice for the development of science, and wanting development without any attempt, which requires sacrifice, is only greed of the government. And we had one example for this. We said that according to Title IX incidents, doctors learn many things about these medicine. And we also have a second example, which is that there are no big changes in the genes between such animals such as the chimpanzee and human, because most DNA, almost 98% is similar.
Speaker spoke before the exit. Could you reply?
Yes. Mr. Speaker, the government is so obsessed by how weak the animals are and how they should be respected and how they should have rights. We believe that I have a few questions for this. Well, if they count even if they count animal rights, why not plants' rights according to their law? Plants are weak like animals. They eat flies, bugs eat it, etc. when they are carnivores, and they take away water from other plants when they are germ plants, and they consume sunlight, which is called their food. But we don't ban these. We don't have a motion called this house believes that we should ban people who have lack of care of plants and who do not take care of their plants in their home. We believe that point is totally ridiculous. And yes, the government might say these aren't that consistent with. But these are actually consistent because it's all about the animals' rights to do something. And our motion, which was this house would ban animal testing, we should actually encourage animal testing because it actually gets more benefits. And that is why we believe that that is the first reason why they have lost and we have won. And point of clarification, genes, they said there are ridiculous alternative methods. The DLO clearly stated that it is not developed. If it was developed, we wouldn't be currently using these animal testing. We were using these cloned human cells for the benefit of the mankind. And second point was about how they said how the genes might be different and it might be ineffective. However, we believe that, as the previous speakers stated before, that scientists learn from it and they modify these genes. Government, that is called medicine. They modify these genes to make them into medicine for the benefit of mankind. That is why we believe that animal testing has the benefit, not only harm. That's because there are clearly not much harm and there are clearly too much benefits. That is why we believe that animal testing should not be banned and should be encouraged.
speaker. Now I'd like to call upon the last speaker of this debate.
Mr. Speaker, we strongly believe that we should ban animal testing. Animal testing cannot solve the current problems about considering the scientific issues. I, as the reply speaker of the government side, I would like to summarize our team's three arguments and talk about why we should take this debate. Firstly, I will summarize our team's three arguments. Our team's first argument was about animals have rights. Slaves in the past and the animals have the similarity, which is they do not have the rights, and we should create the rights if it is for the weak and vulnerable animals. So it is a result of good action, which is a result of humanity. Our team's second argument was about it hinders scientific development. Animals and humans are not the same, so it doesn't match exactly with human genes and the animal genes. Between humans and animals, the differences exist. And between the humans and animals, the differences are even bigger, and it is never going to be the same. And it is a false sin of securing on animal testing, and it is not safe. Our team's last argument was about alternatives. Testing human cells which is a eugenic cell. It's a eugenic cell. We should find out its qualities and inject chemicals. It is good because we are using real human cells. And second method was using a computer model. Computer program is type of human and type of in characteristics, and it is studying it, and we can also study human volunteer. Secondly, I will talk about why we should take this debate. The opposition is even not caring about the rights of freedom of the animals and do not believe that the animal genes and human genes are not same. Mr. Speaker, we think that the opposition lacks in the scientific information. They are not trying to solve the problems by using other alternatives rather than the animal testing. They do not even understand the animal's feelings regarding being forced for the animal testing. The opposition keep talking about the points that they have included for this debate. Mr. Speaker, we strongly believe that we should ban the animal testing. We have rebutted to all the points that the opposition has explained and had better arguments than the opposition. We strongly believe that the government side should take all these clashes and in this debate and the arguments explained. Thank you for listening, and I am proud to propose in this debate.
I thank you for the debate. Thank you all the debaters. You guys may and in the room. Since it is a silent round, we can go back to the debater's chamber.